Exclamation, everybody. Welcome to Approaching Infinity, a game that I've talked about a little bit in my Cube World Sunday Rambling series. This is a roguelike 2D game, very reminiscent of sort of the ASCII, games of old, and honestly reminiscent of the 8-bit era roguelikes even, or Rogue itself, if you want to even go to that point. What I'm doing right now is trying to figure out what kind of ship class I want here and what my character should look like. As well, I've selected the easy difficulty because, that's just the way I roll. So let's get started. Would I like to play a tutorial? No, I've already played through the tutorial, so I know sort of what I'm doing. Kind of. We'll see how long I last this time. So as you can see, you're just this little ship, tiny ship, flying around the universe here. And I'm going to land on this planet. Some of the mechanics here, as I'm already being attacked, so this is great. The mechanics are, I'm walking around, trying to explore. Every little grid that I explore here is data that I can then sell at a space station. As I walk around, notice on the right-hand side there's health and there's oxygen and the percentage of your team that is still alive, your away team that's still alive. Obviously, you don't want any of those to go to zero. The oxygen will reduce at different rates, it looks like, depending on what kind of planet you're on. From what I can tell, I don't know that for sure, but I have been on other more, I guess, Terran-like planets where the oxygen still depletes, but not at the same. It seems to take a lot longer to do so. And then I've been on other planets where it's depletes much faster, and also you get to points where you need upgraded gear. So, for instance, with the gear that I currently have, the starting gear, it would not be advisable for me to land on a frozen planet because your people take, I believe it's like 5 points of damage or something like that per step, unless you have upgraded suits, which then reduce that to much less. So yeah, your away team will die pretty quickly under those conditions. Some more information about the game. I just checked today before recording this, and their Kickstarter just completed. I was hoping to get this out before their Kickstarter completed to garner some support, but really, honestly, they had already surpassed their goal. And I don't feel like it's too late to get the information out because you can still go on their website. I will link you to both the Kickstarter and to the blog that the developer has, where you can download the version of the game that I'm playing right now, which is the free alpha version. I also, since I've backed them, I also have access to a backers only version, which I'm not showing right now because I want to give you sort of an idea of what you can see, even though, now that the Kickstarter campaign is over. You can still donate, I believe. There's some PayPal links on his the dev's site as well as on the Kickstarter. So I believe you can still get into it. And from what it said on there, whatever amount you donate will translate to whatever reward tiers we're on Kickstarter, and you'll get access to whatever it is us Kickstarter backers would have gotten access to. The dev has said in the inspiration for this game was several other games. One of them was Star Control, which I recall from back in the day, but I don't think I've ever actually played it. And the other was Starflight, which has an interesting playthrough for me. I actually played that game a few years ago on a Genesis emulator. I never saw the game when it first came out on the Genesis back in the early 90s. So I happened to see a ROM for it several years ago, back when I was actually doing emulation stuff, which I don't really dig into anymore, mostly because all the ROM sites got taken down for legal reasons. But I actually played Starflight on that emulator, and it was pretty cool. It does remind me very much of this, where you start out on a space station and you fly to different planets, land, try to mine. You have like a rover that you're in. You're trying to mine the planets, looking for stuff and loot and all that stuff. It very, very reminiscent as to what you're seeing right here as well. Oh, I have found a data pad with a partial set of coordinates that could lead me to a star temple. Excellent. I don't know where. I don't know if the star temples are in here yet or in the game yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it. We'll see. So since I sort of I'm jumping around a little bit here, but you'll notice that as every turn that I take, since this is a roguelike, it's turn-based, right? So the whole world stops until you do something. And you can hit the R key, which will actually just burn a turn if you don't want to actually move. But every time you do that, every time you burn a turn on the planet here, you saw that the oxygen would go down. You have to get back to your shuttle to replenish your oxygen for your away team. So you're kind of tethered to it right now. And one of the things to note about that is, because of the amount of money that they raised in their Kickstarter, which was it ended up being $8,669 out of the $5,000 that he was looking for. Several stretch goals were hit, and one of them was an auto explorer bot, which should help out with the away team missions, where you can just send the bot out and have it find some loot for you, rather than risking the lives of your crew. So that's really cool. I'm trying to install. Is this okay? All right, yeah, looks like I installed the devices. You can see there's all different tabs up here. The quest tab, which I took a quest a little bit earlier. These will be fleshed out some more as the game progresses. I believe there's supposed to be if I can divide my attention a little bit here. I believe there's going to be 12 alien races ultimately in the game, and each one of them will have a fully fleshed out quest line. So that'll be pretty cool. Right now it's just sort of the very basic quest system right now. The components, obviously you have all these starship components you can buy, and you can outfit your ship with. The pawn shop here is to sell off some of your components that you don't want anymore. The main thing, the commodities exchange here, is where you basically sell off all the loot that you've gathered that you don't need or don't particularly want. And let's go to Sector 2 here. I think I've pretty much explored what I want here. And you see my quest thing has popped up to let me know that I have a quest in this sector. There are, as far as I know, there are no limits on, well, there is ultimately a limit on the number of sectors, but it's rather large from what I understand. There's going to be 5 different ways to win the game. There has been no other information as to what those different methods will be. whether there's an ultimate sector cap that you can reach, you know, get to sector 100 or whatever, and then you've won the game, or what it will be. But it's cool to hear that there will be multiple endings and they'll be fully, you know, realized endings. There's also, I'm running a even slightly older version, I think, than what's out there. I gotta run away from these guys, man. All right, those guys were giving me a bit of a punishment. Um, you can see these asteroids as well that I'm sort of passing up right now. They're all mineable. All you have to do is right click on them and you mine them. You can get resources out of them. And of course, all the terrain sort of affects how not only your fog of war operates, but also if there's any effects against you. So in space, you have nebula and stuff like that can affect not only your vision but also your ship components. On the planet, there's areas that you don't really want to stray into too much because they hurt a lot. You're also seeing that I'm running into a lot of these pretty hard enemies here. So let's and these random pirate attacks as well, which I'm using. I'm just, you know, clicking on them, left clicking on them, and then hitting F to fire my guns. But you'll notice that the ship that I selected only has one gun on it. Each ship class has some trade-offs. There's a ship that I used to use a lot that has I used in a previous run through that has two guns, but it has a very limited two weapons, I should say, but it has a very limited cargo hold. I think it only holds like 15 items. Whereas this guy has a little bit bigger cargo hold, but he's only got one weapon, and he only has shields and no real armor to speak of. Whereas the other one I had shields, armor, the whole works, but just a small cargo bay. So there's trade-offs based upon which class you go with and which options you try out. But you'll notice, since everything's turn-based, when I fire the one gun that I have, I then have to wait for them to recharge. So there's like a cooldown sort of. And in this case, it's 2 turns for me. So a lot of times, if you see me like not moving, I'll often burn off a turn by hitting the R key to let my weapons sort of recharge so I can fire again. And I imagine that depending on the weapon you have, each weapon has a different sort of charging time and amount of supplies you use. As you can see here, like this one uses 7 supplies, but it's slow speed, so it probably takes maybe 2 or 3 turns to recharge. The laser submachine gun is like 15 damage. Its range is 3, so I can hit something like 3 tiles away. 3 blocks away. This is my sandboxing turning on. And this one, outdated light ion driver. There's also the plus and minus stuff there. I don't know exactly what that means yet. I don't know if that's a general rating on what that, you know, what it is compared to the other things, like a general comparison, or if it means something else. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Also, this pay it forward thing, this is an interesting little concept. It is implemented right now in this version, but it doesn't necessarily work in this version because there's no save ability yet. There is one in the backer only version that's out there now. You can now save your game, but you quit the game when you save it. It's you know, it's supposed to be an end. You know, I'm ending the game now. I want to save where I was at. With this one, it's that's where sort of I found a oh god, it's infested. Holy crap. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good at all. Wow. took a ton of damage there. You can see there's got to be several of my crew that are several of my away team that are dead here. This is the first time I. Whoops. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah. We got to get out of here. This is not good. 7 members of the away team died. Yikes. Yeah, I thought I spawned on top of something. That was weird. That's the first time I've ever encountered a derelict ship in game. They're shipwrecks, but derelict, same thing. And it looks like that one was was derelict because of a infestation of those little worm things. I wanna revisit that. I just wanna let's just replenish some of my. What is this guy doing? He's hunting me? His attitude is hunting you. Well, maybe I should take a first shot here, man. You see now it says cooldown of 2 there, so I have to wait 2 turns. I have to wait 1 more turn now for this to cool down so I can fire it. There we go. He's taken care of. And these guys are sort of pinpricks along the way. Do a little exploration around here. So yeah, it's oh, this guy, one of these guys just fired on me. Who was it? He's perturbed, his attitude. So I'm guessing it's him. The other guy just wasn't paying me any heed. I like that on the right hand side there when you click on somebody it tells you like, oh, here's their attitude towards you and all this stuff. So I want to revisit that shipwreck and see if I can get further on there, because I haven't been on one before now, and I want to see if I can. I'm imagining that there's a lot of loot on there, so I'm hoping to get there. I'm trying to avoid these frosty planets because I don't have the space suit yet, or the EVA suit yet for it. So. Great. Oh, here we go. Here's an excursion suit. That's what I wanted to say. Excursion suit. So that's the upgrade. So actually now that I have that, I could probably go on one of those worlds that I was just talking about. I'll still take a little bit of damage because I think that only had 5 absorption. I think it takes like 6 or 7. You can see some of the other things up here. Here's my devices. The officers and the crafting menus, as you saw, they popped up and said they're not implemented yet. Please kickstart. Those are future planned features. So the officers would be, I could hire trained officers that come with their own bonuses. So that's pretty cool. You can upgrade your, maybe they'll buff your ship in some sort of way, or buff your away team even, possibly. The crafting is sort of it's going to be implemented as a, how did he explain it? It's a randomized crafting system. So you can craft things together, but you may not necessarily get what you thought you would get out of it. So it'll probably maybe change a few of the stats at random or so. That's, hey, I dig. I dig. Do you dig? I dig. Suddenly I'm a stoner. See all the stuff I have here. As I was saying, the pay it forward thing, because I don't think I actually explained that. I got off on a tangent. The pay it forward thing is a neat concept. It's basically saying, I'm going to take, a portion of my credits that I have now, I'm going to bank them. So the next time, so when I die and I come back into the game again from the start, I can then pull those credits out of the bank and use them for my next playthrough. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. That's 2 thumbs up for me. Some of the other things too, I've mentioned on planets you have an oxygen meter that runs down, so you kind of have to stay tethered to your shuttle, and on derelicts as well here. Let's see if I can steal some stuff before these. Oh, this is probably good. They're sort of bottlenecked here. As long as they can't, if I can keep them bottlenecked like this, they can't. I can't have 20 of them hitting me at once, which is good. Oh, eggs. Oh, this is going to be good. I hope they're not face huggers. Anything but face huggers. I don't need them. I don't need them in my life. All right, let's get some oxygen here, and let's yeah, 8 members. So if all of your away team dies, you don't really gain any of the benefits of that. I don't think you'd walk away with any of the loot that they picked up. So I'm trying whenever possible not to have the entire away team die, just so that I, yeah, especially when there's this much loot lying around here. Yeah, see, these guys they just swarm around you here and cause all kinds of damage. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the, man, I'm jumping all over the place here. I was talking about the skilled officers and the bonuses that they come. That's coming in the game. The crafting as well, the randomized crafting. Also, there's going to be some ancient art and poetry that you can collect. Just as sort of a side, nicety in the game. And also another sort of side thing is that there's an achievement system because we hit one of the funding goals, one of the stretch goals was hit. So he's going to implement an achievement system into the game. So another, there's a lot planned for the game, and so far, and even with all that's planned, there's still a very much playable game right now. I'm already enjoying this game, and it's if I go through the list of things planned, this is probably a quarter of the game of what we're really going to get at the end. So that's pretty awesome in my mind. I know already that the backer edition has some of these implemented things that came down from the stretch goals. So I believe the backer one has the auto explorer bot now. I'm pretty sure it does. Don't quote me on that. And also I saw some screenshots of the cloaking device. You now can obtain a cloaking device for your ship. The disadvantage to that is much like the disadvantage in Star Trek, which is you can only have a cloaking device, you can't have shields. So it's a trade-off, as is everything. So that's cool. Sounds like it's going to be pretty well balanced. Also, more monsters, more planet types, more quests are planned. Also, some random events, which he's calling SOS beacons, that you can respond to along the way. And oh, good. So this is another type of quest here. The one quest I had was take stuff to a space station, to the Banker space station. This one is collect some resources that are lying around in the system, because the system is plentiful with these particular resources. And I've already hit that goal, which is good. You can see I'm clicking on these asteroids here. This is the mining thing. So you basically just run into them and you mine them, and then hopefully they drop something like this one just did. Some chemicals. All right. That little swirly thing, that infinity sign there, in case you haven't figured it out by now, just from watching, that's the jump to the next sector. One of these builds, and this is not the build obviously, but one of these builds that's out there for the alpha, actually start you off in sector 50, which is much later in the game, just to give you a teaser, a taste of what the sort of late game stuff is. I haven't played that version of the game yet, and I probably won't either, because I kind of like the starting out fresh and seeing the early stuff. The later stuff, I can imagine, just from what I've seen of the early stuff, I can imagine that the later stuff must be hella crazy and awesome at the same time. So I don't need any more convincing personally. Also, there's going to be more ship devices, more effects planned, and found another shipwreck here. And this guy, wow, this I just found super zombie here, man. Don't mess with space zombies. Jeez. Oh, look, that's cool. My team is still, their bodies are still there. I wonder if they're gonna rise from the grave and attack me because of these zombies. Oh yeah, these are quick zombies too. I'm getting out of here. I had enough of that. No more space zombies for me. Also, monsters with special powers and special, abilities. Like can encounter things. For instance, those zombies I just encountered. I might encounter one later on in the game where it has an infection rate, where it will actually infect my away team and possibly even infect my ship. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's one of those things. There's also like some that will drain your shields, cause blindness, cause corrosion. All these things are planned for the game, so it's going to expand quite a lot from where it's at. Also, there's going to be ongoing Mac support and a detailed modding guide based on the goals that were hit on the Kickstarter. So it's pretty cool. Also, the one thing that's probably missing the most from this game right now is the soundtrack, and there is a soundtrack planned. You heard a little bit of it in the beginning there. There's going to be sound throughout the game. This is just, again, very early build. And these guys are not messing around. I'm going to probably die here. This will probably be my last flight. Yep, there we go. I died. I was killed in Sector 5 by a gruff instigator. So cool, I had 96 fame too. So this has been Approaching Infinity. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. I think if any of you like roguelikes, you'll probably enjoy this as well, as much as I have, if not more. You might want to go over, check it out. The Kickstarter was successful. It will be made. But you can still go over and download the game that I have here, the version of it that I have, as well as contribute via PayPal to the dev, as well as, words of encouragement. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next series.